tasting. Thank you for following us on YouTube, and thank you for all the great comments and for seeing many of you last week. So this week we're doing Cabernet. So as many of you know, Cabernet Sauvignon, to be more specific, Cabernet Sauvignon is the offspring of Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc. Those two mixed produce what we know now as a modern day Cabernet Sauvignon. So there's many different expressions of it. Many of us are familiar with really California. And within California, it's nice to look at Napa and Sonoma Cabernet. So I like to say that side of the mountain or this side of the mountain. And really the style differences between the two, the more lean, sometimes lighter, elegant style from Sonoma, and then that deeper, richer Cabernet that most of us are used to having from Napa, whether it would be floor or high elevation Cabernet. We're going to start today with that side of the mountain in Sonoma. So our first wine is Ferrari Carano Cabernet. So Ferrari Carano is a great winery. This is actually pretty interesting. It's most of the winemaking is gravity fed, which is kind of important. You don't want to over pump or over squeeze or over stress your fruit when it comes in. So these guys actually use a gravity fed system where literally at the top of the winery you'll have deliveries, and then the winemaking process begins up here, and then basically as you're bottling you're ending down here. A lot of wineries choose this. Again, it's less manipulation of the fruit, less pumping, less mechanical process going on. You end up with arguably a better product. So, good example of a nice, elegant Cabernet from Sonoma. Next one is Decoy. So, for those of you familiar with some of these wines, like Duckhorn, for example, this is where Decoy, you may have seen this. So Decoy is kind of a second label, it's called a second label of wine to Duckhorn. Great fruit, great winemaking, great family behind the project, obviously. Great legacy of fantastic wines. Really delicious Cabernet, elegant in style, stands up to food, not overpowering, consistent vintage after vintage, really kind of a huge crowd pleaser. Next one is Simi. So for those of you who attended our last event, you got to try the single vineyard, which is Landslide of Simi. Landslide is actually on the San Andreas Fault, hence known as Landslide Vineyard. And some of the fruit sourced from Landslide gets put into the Simi. Again, Alexander Valley, fantastic area for producing cab. Temperatures are right, nice growing season, cool nights, hot sunny days, delicious cab example from that side as well. And last but not least, Robert Mondavi Cabernet. Obviously a crowd favorite, and many of you asked me to please show this again. So here we are. So this is the 2013 Mondavi. Again, big legacy and family in history, really iconic producer in Napa and in this country. Basically, we owe a lot in the wine industry to Robert Mondavi. The particular cab, they've gone and done 25% from Tocalan, which is one of the most famous vineyards, and sourced Tocalan as 25% or so every year going into this. Significant quality increase for those of you who were a little disappointed with Mondavi in the past, say 5 to 10 years. Big change. Big change in quality, smaller yields, focus on winemaking again, and again, 25% or so is Tocalan. Tocalan Cabernet is fantastic, which you're welcome to come. And have some, we have it here, and really delicious darker fruit Cabernet, much more reminiscent of what you'd have in Napa, and definitely stylistically from this side of the mountain in Sonoma. Thank you very much, and I look